So we talked about if Rich's arm is positioned in this right angle, we have the box technique. What happens in the course of the fight in a moment of time, a brief nanosecond, Rich's arm is positioned where his forearm is perpendicular to the ground. This is when we're going to use what we call the party flex. So we have the box when the arm is positioned at this right angle. Now let's say it's brought up to where the forearm is perpendicular to the ground. What we're going to do is we're going to use the party flex. What I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to reach across the center of his body and I'm going to trap his elbow. I'm going to use, again, not a full grip, I'm going to use a false grip and I'm going to cup his elbow. From here, again, same fundamentals. I'm going to hide my head by protecting it and keeping it inside of my bicep. What I'm going to do is I'm going to insert the web of my hand into the web of his hand here. And I'm going to stabilize his arm, making sure that his forearm stays at a perpendicular plane to the ground. And I'm going to hide it and my head descend and I'm slowly going to flex his palm to the ground until I get submission. Again, this is going to attack the wrist. So again, I'm going to cup the elbow, stabilize and isolate his arm. I'm going to put the web of my hand into the web of his hand. I'm not going to bring it out here because if I bring it outside the thumb, it can slide off. If I put it inside the web, it locks itself. And I'm going to flex his wrist to the ground until I get submission. Again, make certain when you're applying this technique that you want to lower your sternum to his chest, drive your hips into the ground, have the balls of your feet touch, or perform the double leg grapevine. Lower your base, keep your head tucked down, exhale as you press down until you get submission. It's called the party flex. Okay, Mike, let's party flex to the right. Again, notice how he isolates that elbow, lowers his base, and flexes it down. Good, Mike, let's do party flex to the left. And he flexes it down. Just keep going back and forth, Mike. Again, it's very important to cup his elbow and keep it stable. Rich, try to wiggle your elbow around. See how that isolates it, keeps it stable, and allows you to create pressure on that wrist. If you have bad wrists, I do not suggest that you have your training partner perform this on your wrist because it's extremely painful. You want to do this in controlled motion. And again, one of the most important things is to lower your base, keeping that sternum to his chest and driving your hips to the ground. Notice how Mike also protects his face, his eyes. Just try to gouge the eyes, try to punch the skull. He can't do anything there. So Mike's got that helmet, his cranium protecting him. And just go back and forth, back and forth. Mike, let's do an elbow. So clip with an elbow again. There's that freebie shot. He took him with the elbow, and then he cups his elbow, and then flexes down. Clips it. And again, whenever you're utilizing submission techniques, don't force it. It will appear in the course of the fight. So when you're fighting your adversary, don't say to yourself, I'm going to perform the box or I'm going to perform the party flex. You'll never get the submission hold. It will appear in the course of the fight and you'll see that window of opportunity. And that window will be only open for a few seconds. But again, if you're proficient with these techniques and you can recognize them, you'll be able to deploy them quickly, efficiently, and effectively.